ABBYY FlexiLayout creation steps. We'll talk about creating a FlexiLayout. We'll get into a little bit more detail about what's in a FlexiLayout project. We'll talk about identifiers as well as anti-identifiers, and then we'll have a short but very important discussion about matching FlexiLayouts. So when you start off in FlexiLayout Studio, you create a FlexiLayout project and you want to bring in sample images that are representative of what you're going to see in the real world. So the good, the bad, the ugly. Good quality images, bad quality images, truncated images. When those images come in, they're pre-recognized automatically. You can, as a human, analyze those pre-recognition results, the OCR results. Also, you can see which lines were detected, barcode detection, a lot of different things. And then you can create FlexiLayout blocks. Those are your future FlexiCapture fields. Then when you go about building your actual layout, you first start off by setting identification elements specifically in your header and your footer. Header for first page and footer again for last page. And then you create the basic elements to find the actual data, and then you map that data to the blocks. Again, those are your future FlexiCapture fields. When you create a FlexiCapture element, by default, it is an optional element. And generally speaking, I think that's a good default setting. Keep it where that is. But if you want to use an element to recognize a document, you set it to required. So we'll talk a little bit more about that. And then if you want to specify text strings that specifically should indicate that a document shouldn't be matched, that's a prohibited element, also known and referred to as an anti-identifier. So anti-identifiers are strings that, again, as soon as the document sees, say, the string total amount or total sum, it'll say, "Oops, I can't match this document definition," and it moves on and tries to match the next one. Can be very, very handy. So we put, and a best practice, and you'll see why in a second, is in your header to put required elements. And you may remember from the previous slide, required elements have a green arrow. So to put required elements in your header, and then elements that aren't required, generally I move out of the header. So these could be dragged into the element tree. This one's not required. It could be dragged down as well. And that can really speed up your processing if you confine all of your required elements to your header and your footer. More on that. So once you're done testing and creating your FlexiLayout, FlexiLayout again is a markup tool, and it's all about finding rectangles to perform OCR. So all that logic, once you're done with your layout build, is exported in a file called an AFL file, and that AFL file is ingested into a document definition. So this is an important slide about matching order. When you have a project, let's say it's got 4 fixed document definitions, structured document definitions, and then it's got, say, 2 FlexiLayouts, let's say 4 FlexiLayouts with header groups, and then say 4 without any header groups. It's first going to, when we put an image in a hot folder, FlexiCapture is first going to try to match those 4 structured document definitions. And that's because our algorithm for matching fixed forms is very, very fast. So we don't really need to specify the order of fixed forms. They could be anywhere in our document definition list. Next, we have our FlexiLayouts with header groups. So FlexiCapture will open up those header groups, see the required elements, see if they match those, and if they don't match that, it's going to move on, and it's not going to check the entire layout, just the header or footer. So if you don't use headers or footers, then it's got to really go through the entire element tree until it matches. So that's kind of slower. So when you put documents in your project, there's a document definition list. You don't have to worry about the order of your structured documents, but for your FlexiLayout-based document definitions, your semi-structured and unstructured document definitions. Those should be placed in order of frequency so that your most often occurring documents are at the top of the list and then the least frequent are at the bottom of the list. So we talked a little bit about the steps in creating a FlexiLayout. We talked about pre-recognition and analyzing pre-recognition results. And we talked about block creation and matching order. So some important topics.